My brothers and sisters, what is going on? This is Steel Sermon in the House, Sunday evening with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, link in the description. First of all, ignore the sunburn, but sitting down here talking about the Pirates, and we've currently lost 7 in a row, and we have been playing incredibly poor. But I'm coming on here after getting swept at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays, and back-to-back sweeps, mind you. We got swept in Tampa Bay, and now we get swept at home by Toronto, a.k.a. two of the best teams in the league, but, at least we don't have to play them anymore this year. So, I'm sitting down here talking about the team right now, and I want you to hear me out on this, okay? First of all, I'm not going to sit down here and act like I'm not upset and I'm not frustrated by this losing streak that we're on. I am, okay? I'm upset, I'm disappointed, and I expected better from this team than the performance that they turned in against two of the best teams in baseball, okay? But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit down here and blow things out of proportion and overreact. All right? For a couple of reasons. Number one, you gotta realize it's May. Okay? It's May 7th. We've played 35 games on the season. We've only played 21% of the season so far. Not even a quarter of the season's gone by. All right? And I know last week I put out a video saying the Pirates are for real, the Pirates are this. I still think this is a good team. But you know what happens to good teams at some point during the season? Unless you're, say, the 84 Tigers or the 98 Yankees, and pending on how this season goes, this year's Tampa Bay Rays. But my point is, you know what every good team at some point goes through? A slump. All right? And that's just what this team's on right now. And let me put it to you like this. Would you rather slump now when it's early in the season, nobody's running away with this garbage division, which is point number 2. The Brewers have been taking L's as well, so we lost no ground in first place. We are still in first place because the Brewers got swept by Colorado, and they're having a tough time in San Francisco. Okay? Sure, the Chicago Cubs have won some games here and there, but the Cubs, they're still mediocre. They're still, kind of mid. The Cardinals are god-awful, which I absolutely love. And then the Reds. No one's talking about the Reds. All right? So we've lost no ground in this division. But getting back to what I'm saying, would you rather slump now, early in the season, with a ton of ball left, knowing good and well that our best player is coming back in August? Or would you rather have a repeat of 2012 where we have a great record and then we lose a lot of games in August and September, slump then, and that takes us out of playoff contention? Because that's what happened in 2012. 100 games into the season in 2012, we were 58-42. First place in the NL Central. Our final record, 79-83. Would you rather have it happen then? Because let me tell you, I'm not in love with this slump at all. I don't like this at all. Just about everything that has gone wrong for the Bucks has gone wrong. And, I gave them a pass for Tampa Bay because the Rays are just almost impossible to beat right now. But with this Toronto series, I'm not giving them a pass. I expected better against Toronto, and it's looked kind of worse than the Tampa Bay series, in my opinion, So, just about everything that's gone wrong for us has gone wrong. It's sloppy defense, Castro regularly botching balls at shortstop, which is something that O'Neal Cruz wouldn't be doing when he's 100% healthy. Derek Shelton fumbling lineups. I don't know why Jack Sawinski is not playing in the outfield. You know, Andrew McCutchen is hurt now too, by the way. He has a sprained ankle. He's probably going to miss about a month. So we're going to get him back. All right, but even then, Kutch hasn't really been hitting the ball well recently in the past week. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. But now is the time for Shelton to take a look at what this lineup has been doing for the past week and start making changes. And with me, that starts with sending Chase DeYoung down to Indiana, down to the minors, or at best DFAing him because he just ain't cutting it. Okay, sloppy defense, errors, just everything imaginable. Not executing, blown opportunities. The bats have gone ice cold. We've been outscored 41-8 during these past 6 games. Okay. So yes, it's an ugly, ugly, terrible losing streak that we're on. But I'm saying, Pirate fans, relax. If you want a connection, let's go to 1992. Okay? Because if you remember back in April, we were 20-9. That was our best start since 92. You know what happened in 92? We were 23-10 entering May 10th of 92. 23-10. And then we went on a slump where we lost 11 of 12 games and had a 24-21 record. And we ended that month 26-22. And then we got it together in June. Slumps happen. Okay? The Pirates are not the only team in the history of the game to have a slump. The Dodgers, they slumped at the beginning of the year and now they're starting to play well. The Astros, they slumped at the beginning of the year. They're playing well. The Yankees are on a little bit of a slump. Boston slumped to start the year. They've won 8 in a row. I'd say the only good team that hasn't slumped, at least not yet, is Atlanta. And even they had a little mini losing streak at one point. Slumps happen. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I'm a little disappointed with this fan base here, okay? I really am. Because yes, like I said, there's no denying it. It's an ugly losing streak. Bad fielding, bad defense, botched balls, looking at pitches right down the middle of the plate when we have absolutely no business looking at those pitches. We should be swinging for them. Not executing, leaving the bases loaded, over-aggressive base running, over-aggressive play style, questionable managerial decisions. The pitching's been ice cold lately. The bats, needless to say, have been ice cold. I get it. We're playing bad right now. We've lost 7 straight games. Okay, but one of those games was against Washington, where we had already won the series. And now we got swept by 2 of the best teams in baseball who we don't even play for the rest of the season. I would have loved a 3-3 record against Tampa and Toronto. Don't get me wrong. I hate that we ended up 0-6 against them. Don't get me wrong. But why does this fan base go from one extreme to the other? Like, if you guys can't support the team when they're winning, don't support them when they're losing. And especially don't support them when we break out of the slump, because we are going to break out of this. We are. And we have a golden opportunity this coming week. The Colorado Rockies are coming to town tomorrow. Remember what happened last time we played Colorado? Outscored them 33-9 in Denver. I think this series is exactly what we need against the Rockies. Just what the doctor ordered. Our bats are ice cold. Colorado ain't the best pitching team. We could break out of the slump tomorrow for all we know. And then boom, just like that, we can continue to extend this lead. Now, I, for one, am sitting here telling you right here, right now, that I still do not expect the Pirates to win the NL Central. I don't. What I do expect is improvement. And if you sit down here with a straight face, look me in the eye, and tell me this team is not improved, you are lying to yourself. And you're lying to me. Don't do that. We have absolutely improved. Okay? Last year, it took us until the end of May to get our 20th win. 2021, it took us until late May to get our 20th win. And then we didn't even have a season, mind you, recently, where we didn't even win 20 games. So obviously we've improved. Obviously we've been winning games. I know it's against crappy teams, as people like to say, and I'm not arguing that. But again, I'll ask you, is there one other team, not named the Reds or the Marlins, that this team, if you gave them the exact same roster from 2020 to 2022, I'll even go as far to say the second half of 2019 when we were 4-24 through 28 games after the All-Star break up until last year. You give any one of those Pirate rosters this year, is there another team not named the Reds or Marlins that we would be able to beat? The answer, no. We beat LA. We swept Boston. We beat the White Sox. I know the White Sox suck right now, but you know, they were a good team recently. The last time we had played a series against them before Easter, they beat us in a series. We couldn't be able to beat Washington. We struggled against a Diamondbacks team that lost over 100 games a few years ago. I mean, what are you guys getting so worked up about? If you claim to be Pirate fans, shouldn't this be nothing new to you? Because it's nothing new to me. Like I said, it's impossible to get mad if you don't have any expectations. The only expectation I have is to see improvement, and we have absolutely improved in a lot of facets. Maybe not every aspect, but in a lot of them. The pitching had a bad week. Okay, it happens. The pitching had a bad week. Look at who we played. Two of the best teams in the league. And I know it was a big test for us. But that doesn't change the fact that wins are wins and losses are losses. Oviedo struggled lately. He'll get it together. Rich Hill, it was only a matter of time before he would, fall back to earth a little bit. Vince Velasquez is hurt, which means we might call up Luis Ortiz because he's been killing it down in Indianapolis. Shelton hinted at that in post-game conferences in recent days. So I think we're going to see Luis Ortiz possibly Tuesday night. That's a plus. That's another big decision right there for Shelton, aside from what we're going to do with DeYoung and who's going to play second and who's going to DH and what the outfield's going to look like, okay? Those are big decisions. This is a make or break year for Derek Shelton. You have a winning record. Do something about it. You know? Mitch Keller. He hasn't had a bad start. He was let down heavily by the defense the other night in Tampa Bay. Mitch Keller's still pitching real well. And then, today, Rowanzi Contreras, he had a bad game today. He ain't going to go out there and light it up every single start. But let me ask you this. 2015, when the Pirates got off to a slow start, got swept in Cincinnati to start the year, and we didn't get over 500 until late May of that year for good. Let me ask you this. In 2015, if you were even fans back then, were you saying the Pirates were fraudulent back then? We got off to a slow start back then, too. Ended up with 98 wins. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but you get my point. Relax, guys. It's a slump. I don't like it either. I'm not in love with it either. I'm disappointed with it, too. I wanted us to win at least one of these series against Tampa Bay and Toronto. I did. Don't mistake that. But all I'm saying is chill. If we're going to have a slump, I'd rather have it now than have a repeat of 2012. That's the whole bottom line of everything. And unfortunately, with this fan base in particular, in a city like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the Steelers are always going to be number one on the agenda when it comes to sports, people are way too easy to give up on the Pirates. And when they've sucked for as long as we have, I can understand it. But guess what? I'm not flipping out. I'm not jumping off the board. I've been a fan over 20 years. Nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, will make me give up on them. If I can live with them not even having a winning season until I was a senior in high school, I can live through a slump like this. So don't worry about me. But you guys just go from 0 to 60 like that. Okay? Just give it time. We'll figure it out. We'll be okay. Kutch will be back before you know it. It may be a little bit of a wait for O'Neal Cruz, but he'll be back. And who's to say that when he does come back, we get good momentum then, and it takes us to the playoffs? Because I'm telling you right now, I'll take any kind of success this year for the Bucks. Any kind of improvement. Whether it's we finish with 75 wins or we finish 79 wins, I'll take that, considering we had back-to-back 100-loss seasons. Because that is improvement in the rebuild. Whether we're going to call up, Henry Davis or Andy Rodriguez or Quinn Priester or Travis Swaggerty at any point during this season, I'll take it. That's improvement. And I'll tell you, and I don't even think I need to say, I will absolutely take it if we finish above 500 this season, if we make the playoffs, and if we win the division. That is a massive improvement no matter what the outcome in the playoffs is. But any kind of improvement from this team this year, regardless, I'm on board with it. Because you can only go up from losing 100 games in back-to-back seasons in a rebuild. And in bad slump like this, it's gonna go away. So just chill, alright? Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna win a game again. Okay, we may not be so good right now, but we're gonna be okay. Let me know what you think down below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all.